Delhi Belly के brief में पढ़ा था that Kunal Roy Kapoor plays a messy character.
Right.
I thought it was more than a messy
Yeah,
character.
messy is putting it too mildly. Yeah.
Messy is like calling, bubbly character for girls.
Correct, exactly. It's nothing like that, yeah.
So how would you define this role?
Well, he was money-minded, he was selfish, he was also quirky, liked to take photos of dead people, put flowers in their head. So I'm saying, he was a very weird kind of character. I was in the middle of directing a film that I called The President is Coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I'm directing right now. I don't know whether I cannot. They said, what are you talking about? It's a Amir Khan film. We're offering you one of the lead roles. Read the script and I was like, one second, is this the role they're offering me? What is wrong with this? I slapped myself 2-3 times and I looked over. I was married at the time as well. And I looked over to my friend and said, this is a crazy role. This is like insane. They're offering this to me. So I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm on.
Pressure हर जगह होता है, हर जगह आता है.
Right.
How do you deal with pressure when it comes to acting?
There's a film I did with Kajol called Tribhang. Came to me as a role that was purely in English. I was a Bengali writer. But soon enough, it got converted into a guy who speaks Shuddh Hindi. And that is one of my great fears. And I'm glad that I was able to do that film.
तो अभी शुद्ध हिंदी बोल लेते?
नहीं, बिल्कुल ही नहीं. मैं शुद्ध हिंदी बोलता नहीं हूँ. अगर लाइन्स दी जाती हैं तो फिर मैं पढ़ के मैं बोल सकता हूँ.
One green flag character is from Yeh Jawaani, Yeh Jawaani.
Right.
And what a wonderful time for us to meet because the film got re-released.
Yes.
A lot of love that it had got back in the day. Again, इतने सालों बाद फिर से, how does that feel?
It feels great. I mean, I just put a post out and it's got like almost 1 million likes. I was like, what is going on? Like, I have like 5,000 followers. I have like nothing but that post because of the popularity of the film. It's just taken to another level, because people really love that film.
What was Vidya Balan's reaction to this song?
It's so ironic that both of our most famous songs, it's a song that my sister-in-law has done that I'm doing, and I'm gaining popularity as a dancer for a song she has done.
All in the family.
All in the family. It was crazy. Hi, I'm Kunaal Roy Kapur and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
वैसे एक्टर्स के बायोडेटाज सीवीज नहीं होते हैं बट इफ दिस एक्टर हैड वन इट वुड ऑलवेज राइट समथिंग लाइक आई एम समवन हु इज रेडी टू डू unconventional roles, and this is what we love about Kunal Roy Kapur. Hi guys, welcome to Bollywood Hungama, and hi Kunal, how are you?
Very well, thanks for having me.
I think I want to start by saying that what a great career graph you've had. You started with Just Mohabbat, you've been part of a British comedy show. At a very young age, you directed a play as well, and then you've done all sorts of roles. Right. Let's put it across like that. So, was this the plan always? कि मुझे अलग करना है?
This was not the plan, honestly. The plan was to just do what I like to do. I grew up doing a lot of acting on stage, and I'm from Bombay, so I guess opportunities come your way. You're in theatre circles, you're in television circles, you meet people. Roles come your way. Sometimes you have a choice to do the role or not, or sometimes you don't have a choice. You just have to do the role. But things kept coming. I used to be a photographer as well, so that was my primary profession, and acting was something I did on weekends just for stage because I just loved doing it. And then as opportunities started coming, these interesting roles, as you're saying, came my way, and I happened to be a part of some fun projects.
Fun projects. And you know what? I keep wondering that every time I see you in a role, what would be the brief given to you? Like, for example, Delhi Valley. What a great start, first of all. Ideally, for an actor to say yes to a role. मैंने कहीं तो आपके मतलब Delhi Valley के brief में पढ़ा था that Kunal Roy Kapoor plays a messy character.
Right.
I thought it was more than a messy character.
Messy is putting it too mildly. Yeah.
Messy is like calling, bubbly character for girls.
Correct, exactly. It's nothing like that. Yeah.
So how would you define this role?
Well, he was conniving. He was money-minded. He was selfish. He was also quirky. Liked to take photos of dead people, put flowers in their head. So I'm saying, he was a very weird kind of character. But and of course, he was a sloth. But I think that the character just leapt off the page when you read the script, and as you said that sometimes these are not choices you make. I went in for one audition, two auditions, then they called back, and I was in the middle of directing a film that I called The President Is Coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I'm directing right now. I don't know whether I cannot. They said, what are you talking about? It's a Amir Khan film. We're offering you one of the lead roles. I said, but I was in a rickshaw. I was heading to some film city to find out about some color grade or something. I'm like, I don't know if I can right now. Then Honey Taran is like, listen, brother, just listen to me right now. You got to do this. I said, okay, send me the script. And I was nobody at the time. And here it was. So they were nice enough to send the script because I had been through the audition process. I didn't even know what the role was. I went for 2 auditions, and then finally they sent it, and I read the script, and I was like, one second, is this the role they're offering me? What is wrong with me? I slapped myself 2-3 times, and I looked over. I was married at the time as well, and I looked over to my friend and said, this is a crazy role. This is like insane. They're offering this to me. So I was like, okay, I'm on. And then we had one more audition after that, and then finally it happened. But sometimes you don't even know a gift when it comes to you and hits you in the face. Sometimes so these things happen, in life where you just have to be open.
In this line, you just explained the plot of the film.
Yeah.
A gift that comes into your face.
It just comes into your face and hits you, and then you're suddenly, oh God, this is what happened. Yeah.
But so this came along, and like you mentioned, that there were a lot of yes and no's that were happening. How was it working on this character? Because there were a lot of things that you had to play. I don't know if that's how you are, or you had to transform into. So were there challenging times?
No, not challenging. Honestly, there are elements of me in that character. You just have to, and I think there are elements of that in everybody.
Yeah.
Like whether you're messy, lazy, conniving, selfish. I think these are all aspects of all our personalities. And when you see a character, you just have to pump those elements up a little more. So then it becomes your version of a selfish person or your version of a money-minded person. So we are all these people actually in our own lives, and we just got to figure how to emphasize on one of these things for this character.
Yeah.
So it's there within all of us, like this harami panti and all is there. Sab mein hai. You just have to figure out how to accentuate it a little more. But the good thing was we went through a full workshop process. We did 2 weeks of readings with Abhinay. Amir also came in for 1 or 2 days of the workshop. Our writer Akshat was there. We blocked the whole scene. So it was a lovely process because we got to know exactly what we're making, and that's what really helped us really tune into the characters and really pinpoint. And because he told us I'm shooting it like this, so then you don't have to do that much.
Yeah.
Sometimes the pressure is on the actor to do too much, but sometimes the director says, listen, I'm shooting it this way, so you don't have to do so much because I'm creating that for you.
This is, I think, the perfect project of great casting, well-written story put together so beautifully.
Right.
And since pressure, let's use the word, pressure har jagah hota hai, har jagah aata hai.
Right.
How do you deal with pressure when it comes to acting?
Pressure in the sense that the pressure on set, the pressure of doing a role.
Is there something as an actor that still scares you? That, this is my weak point.
Yeah, there is actually. There's a film I did with Kajol called Tribhang.
Yes.
Which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's a lovely small film, and it's about 3 generations of daughters and how they deal with the emotions of being the people they are and fight. So all of that, but I had to play a character initially. It came to me as a role that was purely in English. I was a Bengali writer, but soon enough it got converted into a guy who speaks Shuddh Hindi. And I'm a guy from South Bombay. I speak Hindi in my day-to-day life.
You don't say you're a guy from South Bombay.
Yeah, I can't tell. It's lagta hi nahi hai. But it's a very minimal part of my day-to-day existence. But this was a guy who had to have a full command over the language, and that is one of my great fears. And I'm glad that I was able to do that film. And try and overcome that. So that was one of the challenges.
कभी शुद्ध हिंदी बोल लेते?
नहीं, बिल्कुल ही नहीं. मैं शुद्ध हिंदी बोलता नहीं हूँ. अगर लाइंस दी जाती हैं तो फिर मैं पढ़ के मैं बोल सकता हूँ. बस.
from playing such different characters. One green flag character that's been termed as green flag character is from Yeh Jawaani, Yeh Jawaani.
Right.
And what a wonderful time for us to meet, because the film got re-released.
Yes.
A lot of love that it had got back in the day. Again, itne saalon baad phir se. How does that feel?
It feels great. I mean, I just put a post out and it's got like almost 1 million likes. I was like, what is going on? Like, I have like 5,000 followers. I have like nothing but that post, because of the popularity of the film. It's just taken to another level, you know, because people really, really love that film. It's a rewatchable film. They watch it, they show their children that film. That children grew up watching that film. So it's been whatever, 12 years now. But it stayed with people somewhere, and I think that the important thing for my character, as you're saying, is a green flag, is that I think for me it was the change that he brings about in the lead character's perception of what love is and of what sacrifice is and of what. So it's not a character that's just there, but it's a character who puts himself out there that leads to a mental shift in your lead character's perception. You know, and I think that's what's very important, is that, you know, someone has a certain perception of life, and then they meet a couple or they meet people, and that changes them. And I think that this character and this relationship between Kalki and me changes one of the lead characters' perception of his own life.
Right.
And that's the impact that the character has, you know, like that shift. And that's what I look for when people say, what do you look for in a role? I look for that change that it brings about in a story, that it brings about in your characters. It brings about some sort of shift of, like, even if it's not a very large role, it's just something that's intrinsic to the story or to other characters. It can't just be a laugh. You know, that's,
Is it true that you also sat during, you know, the work of the characterization, trying to figure out, you know, things that can enhance this character?
Well, I did sit with Ayan. The big thing of the whole thing was this dance.
Yeah.
The dance was like, acha, we got to do this dance and all. And we sat a couple of times. I was a little unsure of playing the character start off with, and there was a dance in it. And he's like, but I need it to be funny. I need it to be, you know, people should laugh at and laugh with at the same time. It can't be, you know, he's doing something so stupid, but it has to also be endearing. It also has to be that you like it, but it's also funny. I was like, oh God. So then we choreographed it for 3-4 days, but it also had a freestyle kind of nature to it. So there's only so much you can do, you know, with something like that. But it was choreographed. We did spend 3-4 days doing it, Evelyn Sharma and myself. So that became a big talking point in the discussion. But I have to say that the credit of creating this green flag character goes completely to the writers. It goes completely to Ayan and his team of writers. Hussain was one of the writers at the time. And it's because, see, I can't create that character.
Sure, right.
You know, it has to come from the writing. No matter how good an actor you are, you can't suddenly be a green flag. The green flag has to come from the writing, the way the character is placed in a story.
And how it unfolds also. Right?
And how it unfolds, you know, and also that, oh, you think he's a certain way, but no, he's not that way, he's this way. And that is also a shock for and it's not something he does, it's a line another character says about his character, you know, so that's also quite interesting. It's not even something I'm doing. So it goes down to the writing again. And again, I would give credit to the director and the writer.
If I'm not mistaken, your mom is one amazing dancer.
Yeah,
so are you also having the same genes? I mean, we're not asking you after we watched Ooh La La, Ooh La La. But how was this song taken at home?
You know, it's fun. I mean, the thing is that I'm not very good at doing steps, like doing dance steps. I can move on a dance floor. I mean, you could call it murder on a dance floor, but it's some sort of dance मैं करता हूँ, which is fun. I like having fun on a dance floor. But I don't know whether I'm a steps kind of guy, because it's just difficult to remember कि, oh God, फिर ये
but
करना
everybody
है,
wanted to dance like you. I mean, imagine you've helped so many people.
All
the non-dancers. They want to also do the
bring it on. Yeah.
Oh, you have to realize what was Vidya Balan's reaction to this song.
You know, it's so ironic that both of our most famous songs, it's a song that my sister-in-law has done that I'm doing, and I'm gaining popularity as a dancer for a song she has done.
All in the family.
All in the family. It was crazy. I mean, when I was shooting it, I spoke to her and I said, we're using your song, and her film had just come out a year before that, or not even. And it was a big song at the time, obviously, from Dirty Picture. So yeah, it's so ironic that it's all.
Did she give her reaction to it?
Yeah, and in fact, she went and saw it, the rerun as well, with her nieces and nephew, and she loved it again. So yeah, it's a great little
But
piece of the movie.
honestly, Kunal, I'm not just saying this, I mean it, that every role that you pick, you just bring so much of life and so much of character to the scene that
Thank you.
it kind of connects. And Bandish Bandits is definitely one of that. I want to just before that, also mention about how beautiful tripling was.
Oh, thank you.
Like this entire Kunal having a different layer because he's funny, but then he's also strict, and then
Yeah.
so many things. Was this also a challenging role for you?
It was, but I liked the break in the character. Like
Yeah.
in the first season, what happens with the break, that's with RK, Rajesh Krishnan, and Arnab, and the whole team. Again, Sumit was part of it, and so he was also part of the writing.
Writing, yes.
So we sat down and we talked about it, and he's like, see, it starts off like this, but then we need to see a nice break in the character when he gets back to being like the college guy that they all knew together.
Yeah.
And then you see another side to him. So I was like, that's interesting. So at least you see a guy for a first couple of one episode, 2 episodes, where you see, he's pretty straight.
Yeah.
But then suddenly he breaks into this other kind of guy, and then you realize why she might have fallen for him, because he was this kind of person. So, and it also is about, he's trying to play this patriarchal sort of character, but he's actually not that. He's just trying to follow tradition, but he's actually not that deep down, and that's a nice break again that comes. So again, it's an interesting shift in character.
Sure.
So that was interesting, and the story is so lovely of the three of them, and then then how it continues into the.
Looks like you're part of a lot of travel stories.
Is it?
Technically, even Bandish Bandits.
Bandish, well, there is
be
travel,
like a lot of travel.
guess. There is
Ye
some
Jawaani, Yeh Jawaani has a lot of
That's
travel.
a lot of travel, yeah.
Delhi Belly is like traveling on the streets of Delhi with a packet in your hand. We don't want to talk about what. But you earlier mentioned about this beautiful thing that you want to have a character that makes a difference. It's not just laugh.
Right.
Have there been weird scripts or weird briefs come to you where they give you the importance कि आपका main role है, main important role है, and then when it turns out to be something else?
Well, not really. That hasn't happened. Honestly, it hasn't happened with me. But I think a lot of times people expect that because I've been funny in movies, I can bring funny onto set.
Yeah.
And I think that someone as talented as Johnny Lever Saab will be able to do that because he could come with a sequence, you know what I'm saying? And he's just that ball of talent who the whole film will then go around that sequence, saying कि नहीं अभी ये कुछ करते हैं यहाँ पे, and he will make it funny. So when you have him as part of it, I'm saying, and there are few actors like this who can do that, who bring the funny.
Yeah.
It's like you're calling a guy, he not only is he going to be funny, he's going to write funny, he's going to be. So I think that's the expectation sometimes that directors or writers have, is that an actor will just bring the funny.
Yeah.
We don't bring the funny, in conversation is different, but I'm saying that on a film, it has to be written, it has to be situational, it has to be. So that's an expectation that I get very often, is that कि हाँ आप तो आ जाओगे ना तो फिर कुछ funny करेंगे. So क्या funny करेंगे? मैं आके मैं कुछ funny नहीं कर सकता हूँ. वो तो पहले लिख के फिर हम funny कुछ करेंगे ना. We'll plan it and we'll figure out कि क्या करना है. You can't just be funny on set, So.
But who was writing the dialogues of Bandish Bandits for you? My God.
Yeah, the dialogues are
kudos
insane.
to that person.
So we had, of course, a team of writers, and I would say they wrote at least 50% of that stuff.
Yeah.
Another few percentage was written by Anand, because every day he would come on the day of the thing and say, "Acha, now यहाँ पे ना we'll say this will be funny. You can add this line." And many times I would come in and tell Anand, "Listen, I've got this line, and then like, can I say this at the end?" Or like he'll say, "But now we need something over here to just do a last thing." I'd say, "हाँ, फिर ये करते हैं." So it was with Anand, because I've known him for like, I don't know, 20 years now.
Sure.
We have a relationship where there's a mutual trust and understanding, and he knows that I'm not going to do anything that's going to be detrimental to a scene, or it's not going to be something that's trying to hog this thing. It's just to add some sort of flavor to this character or to the scene. Sometimes I do go overboard and he cuts it out. He's like, no, you can't say that. No. But I'm like, okay, then can we say this?
Do you start laughing at your own dialogue sometimes?
When watching it or while saying it?
Both.
No. I don't laugh at it while saying it.
It's so quirky. It's so to the point. What great timing. And there's such quick ones, smart ones.
Yeah, they just have to like enter a little bit of space. You can go and just karke say something. But it's a lot of fun to work with Anand when you have a director who firstly understands comedy. He is keen to have comedy in an emotional scene, and I think that's what a lot of people feel, that an emotional scene only needs to be emotional. No, like in an emotional scene, it's actually nice when someone's hair gets stuck in someone's chashma when they're separating. It's good, like they're crying, but there's something funny happens because the audience needs those graphs.
Yeah.
The audience doesn't want just sad. They want something, but they also want to feel sad, but they also want a little hint of something else. And I think Anand is one director who gets that. He gets that Indians like, not only Indians, anywhere in the world, you like a little bit of different notes in a scene.
Right.
And I think he's played me like a different note in a scene, like in the series. So it's like a slightly different, and that's why it pops, because it's a slightly different sur.
Yeah, and like you rightly said, it's just the perfect tadka.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of that, And
but Kunaal Roy Kapur from Sobo, are you a fan of classical music?
I would lie if I said I listen to a lot of it. I don't. But whenever I hear it, I love it.
Yeah.
It's and I have been to a lot of concerts. I've seen live performances at Shanmukhananda. I've been to Banganga. In college at Xavier's, we used to have a night of classical music. I've visited that once. So I have been exposed to it a lot, but I wouldn't call myself a fan in that sense, not someone who actively goes out and seeks it. No.
Amazing.
Hi, I'm Kunaal Roy Kapur and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.